Hello YouTube, this is Onyx Partition, and we're going to be doing a video on how to get your first spaceship into orbit. Well, to me this isn't my first spaceship. I've done many spaceships before this. I've sunk 131 hours into this game. That's a lot. Anyways, so what we got here is a basic spaceship. It's using the asparagus staging, which there's many videos on YouTube about. And I'm sure there's many videos on how to get your first ship to orbit. But hey, I'm going to make one because I love this game so much. Anyways, so we're going to start off with just a quick reminder of how the ship works. You know, rockets, fuel gets burned, rockets go up, you know, basic crap no one cares about. You're going to make sure to press T for your SAS and your reaction wheels. R for your RCS. Make sure to throttle your ship up, because I forgot to do that before. It sucked. And then spacebar to launch. So my rule of thumb is around 25,000 to 30,000 feet. We're going to start turning right on the nav ball, pressing D towards 90 degrees. Right there. And then if you quickly tap F, it turns on and off the Kajigger SAS. Now we're going to throttle down to keep our ship from overheating. That would suck. Stage those first two boosters to get rid of them. And keep turning. And slowly, the ship is slowly spinning. I don't know why it does this. But it's super annoying. Anyways, stage those two, the second two. And now we're getting up there in altitude. Once we hit 70,000 meters, we are going to be in orbit. Well, close to orbit. Okay, this is starting to peter out. I'm going to keep turning a little bit more. Did I say 20,000 meters? I meant 2,000 meters. 2,500 at the very beginning. Okay, we're going to look at our map now. See what kind of apoapsis we're getting on here. So it appears we're getting 60,000. Our apoapsis is just going to reach orbit here. So we're going to keep throttling. We're going to keep going. We're now cutting it. We're going to add a maneuver node. So you're going to right click on your apoapsis, add maneuver node. Then you see this orange circle? Boop, pull that out. So you get to your apoapsis turns into your periapsis, because your periapsis is the lowest point in your orbit, and the apoapsis is the highest point in your orbit. I went a lot too far, so my orbit is going to be oblong. When the apoapsis is just starting to move, that means your orbit is pretty much circular. I lied. Disregard that previous statement. When they're halfway, I'm thinking. Yeah, when they're halfway. When the apoapsis, the periapsis are halfway between where they originally started from, that means you were pretty much circular. So we're gonna, if you hold the, yeah. Perfect. Okay, now we got the maneuver node set up, we gotta move to the maneuver. So we're gonna go back to the staging. I'm sorry if this is a crappy video, I don't care, I like it. It makes sense in my head, but I'm trying to teach you guys. So it may not be coming out as well as I hoped. And then to stop the whole moving, you just quickly time. Oh, we're under acceleration. You can't warp while under acceleration. So in order to stop like excessive spinning and crap, you warp. But if you have RCS enabled, your ship is technically under acceleration, and so you can't warp. So it's technically cheating, but I don't care. Perfect. Now we're gonna boost up our engines here in about 5 seconds. I usually between 10 to 5 seconds we start the burn of the engine. So we're gonna do it at 7. And the burn lasts for about 28 seconds, 30 seconds. As you can see, our orbit is getting more and more larger. And your first spaceship will be in orbit. Just a little bit more. Make sure to follow your little maneuver node here. And then quickly I usually don't do a lot of cleanup. If it looks good, it looks good. But you can do some cleanup here like I'm doing right now. Go back to the maneuver node. Ish. And clean it up. Perfect. Then to get rid of that, you click on it with your left click and then get rid of it. There. Your first spaceship is in Kerbal low Earth orbit. Or low Kerbal orbit, I should say. So, we could launch our satellite at low Kerbal orbit, but we're not going to do that. We're going to launch our satellite at high Kerbal orbit. So now that we got our spaceship in orbit, we're going to go back to the map. We're going to create a maneuver node at the periapsis, which is the lowest point in the orbit. And we're going to pull it out to about 1 million. 1 million meters. Oh, poop. I did not want to do that. Cancel that. Good enough. 1 million meters is about 1,000 kilometers. Now what we can do after that is add a second maneuver node to balance it out on the opposite side. So roughly. Good enough. As you can see, that second maneuver node helps me circularize my orbit. Okay, so we're gonna move ourselves close to the second little the first little thingamajig. I always call these things thingamajigs. The blue dot. The maneuver node planner on the nav ball. So we're gonna warp, time warp, accelerate. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit, make it look pretty. Perfect. Shit it. We're gonna warp. 16 seconds. You don't want to overwarp. That is like the worst thing you can do, is to overwarp, because it makes you feel dumb. 7 seconds. We're gonna throttle up. It's gonna be another 17-second burn, roughly. How are we doing on fuel? Stage only. Fuel's pretty good. We got a lot of fuel. I actually ended up overbuilding this rocket. Okay. So that was our prograde. Or it was our prograde. But by the time we get to the other end of the orbit, that's going to be retrograde. So we're going to move to the prograde point here. Boop. And then burn there. Bye-bye, Kerbal. And so we're going to be launching a satellite. That's why we're going to high Earth orbit. I will be doing a separate video later on how to get to the moon. But my landings aren't the greatest. So I won't be teaching how to land, per se. I'll be showing you how to get there. In orbit. Do some science. Cool stuff like that. Anyway, so I know these burns are taking about 20 seconds, 30 seconds. We're going to start burning in about 20 seconds. Of course, this one takes a lot less time. Go figure. Doesn't have to be exact. When you're dealing with millions of meters, a couple hundred meters doesn't really make a big difference. Good. We officially have a high Earth orbit. High Kerbal orbit. Ta-da! Okay. So this rocket that I built is more for a rocket for getting nice voice crack. This rocket I built is more a rocket for getting out of the Kerbal sphere of influence to getting to, let's say, I guess the sphere of influence would still count for the moon, but it's meant for getting to the moon, Minimus, or really close planets. I can't remember the name of the closest planet off the top of my head. So I overbuilt it. So we're going to stage parts of it off. So we got a poodle engine. Just get rid of that space junk. And I still don't need that engine, so we're going to stage that off. Boop. And activate the radioactive engine. But I don't need that, because I am dealing with a satellite. So I'm going to stage that. Open up solar panels. And all the radio antennas. And that engine's already activated. And ta-da! We have ourselves our first satellite. Congratulations, you got your first satellite to orbit Kerbal. And then this satellite uses so little charge. But holy crap, it's actually moving us pretty fast. They have definitely updated the Xenon engine. I'm used to it being useless. But it's It's quite powerful now. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. I hope I did some decent teaching. And have a good day. Bye-bye.